presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Rocky.
It's time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, Prime Ticket presents the Dodgers as they take on the Colorado Rockies. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Friday evening to you, wherever you may be. Beautiful evening here in the ballpark. For the Dodgers and the Rockies, the second series of the year between each other. And for the Rockies, they won 2 out of 3 in Denver. Dodgers trying to at least return the favor. The Dodgers have won 7 of the last 10 against Colorado, going back to last year. Pitching matchups, the Dodgers left-hander Chris Capuano with a record of 4-0. Should he win to go 5-0 at the start of the year, first time he's done that since 2007. And on the mound for the Rockies, perhaps the most interesting pitcher of all, 49-year-old Jamie Moyer. He'll be 50 the middle of November. Moyer with a record of 1-2, 3-6 lifetime against the Dodgers, and the last time he beat the Dodgers was 12 years ago. With all of that, we'll get to the ball game and a whole lot more coming up right after this.
Jamie Moyer pitches. The graybeards and the blue hairs stay up late. Jamie Moyer is 49 years old. Tonight he will make his 635th Major League start against the Dodgers. Jim Watson and Steve Lyons in center field. He's not a knuckler. He's 49. How is he still doing it?
Well, he's, as Jim Tracy called him, an artist. You know, we don't spend a lot of time talking about the opposing players on this show. It is called Dodgers Live, and it is a Dodger baseball broadcast. But look at what he's been able to do. It's just a special opportunity for Dodger fans to get to see a guy that's 49 years old, second oldest pitcher ever to start a game, Satchel Paige, 59 years old. A little bit of a different situation, but way back in 1988, the first time he ever beat the Dodgers, look at the Dodger lineup there. Steve Sachs was still trying to figure out how to throw the ball to first base.
That's
Mike
unreal.
Marshall ended up being my roommate in Boston at one point in time.
And Steve Sachs at the top, Mickey Hatcher,
Andrews.
Gibson. Goodness.
He beat Fernando.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Remember the last time that Jamie Moyer pitched here at Dodger Stadium? That was Game 3 of the NLCS in 2008. And he gave up 5 runs in the first inning. Bad memories. Let's give him some more. Dodgers and the Rockies. Enjoy the ball game, everybody.
Tomorrow he won't remember a thing.
In the box, try Jack's Value Deal. It's chicken nuggets, a Junior Jack, value fries, and a drink for $3.99 plus tax. By Men in Black 3 in theaters May 25th. By San Manuel Indian Bingo and Casino. Play Lucky 7 Bingo. You could win $100,000. And by Time Warner Cable. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Friday night to you, wherever you may be. Welcome to Dodger Stadium, Game 1 of the weekend series with the Colorado Rockies. The Rockies are tied for third with Arizona. They're 6.5 games behind the Dodgers. Jim Tracy's club comes in here having beaten the Dodgers 2 out of 3 in Denver. However, the Dodgers have done pretty well. They won 7 of 10 over the last few weeks against the Rockies going back to last year. However, if you want to go head-to-head with the Rockies, the Dodgers and the Rockies, the last 30 games, they have split 15 each on either side of the ledger. So Tracy's club is here for the weekend, and we'll take a look at their lineup. Marco Scutaro will open up at second base. Jordan Pacheco at third. Carlos Gonzalez in left field. And then you have Troy Tulowitzki at short. Todd Helton at first. Michael Kadire in right field. Ramon Hernandez the catcher. Dexter Fowler in center field. And the pitcher, 49-year-old Jamie Moyer. On the hill for the Dodgers, it will be Chris Capuano, who brings, among other things, a streak, 18 2/3 scoreless innings. He is 4-0 He has now won his last 5, if you go back to last year, and he's trying for the first time since 2007 to start a year 5-0. So the 33-year-old left-hander, 4-5 in his record against Colorado. He's been very tough against left-hand hitters throughout his career, and in the lineup, Gonzalez, Helton, and Fowler's a switch hitter who will be batting right-handed. So the Rockies coming in talking about their offense, they score about 6.5 runs a game at home, but they scored an average of only 3 runs on the road. For the Rockies, they usually do score at the bottom of their lineup. They have a healthy Todd Helton in their lineup, and it's the kind of a club they score with 2 outs. They do have home run power, which you would expect for any club that plays in Colorado. They don't strike out. They have a good bench. They don't hit into a lot of double plays, and they will run deep into the count. However, despite the fact they run deep into the count, they don't usually walk. That's kind of odd. So Scooter will start it off. Marco checking in. He's from Venezuela. Now, he is a contact hitter, rarely swings and misses, and rarely strikes out. He has a look at his strike. Number 1, he's second lowest as far as plate appearances in not striking out. He's number 1. If he swings, he usually hits something. Base hit, fly ball, foul ball. He takes low and inside, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. And the other thing is, he's number 1 in making contact. So when you talk about a contact hitter, why, Scutaro has certainly got to think about. Right-hand batter waiting at the plate, hitting .261. The next pitch is swung on and missed as he staggers across the plate, and the count 1-2. He has hit safely in 8 of his last 9. However, Scutaro has just 1 run batted in 123 plate appearances, so he has certainly been struggling in that area. The next one to him is swung on, slowly hit up along third, going foul. Capuano along with Uribe making sure it stayed foul. So Scutaro coming back. He's 5'10", about 175, and originally signed by the Cleveland Indians, although he made his debut with the New York Mets. He was hunting in the wilds of Venezuela. He was even out of cell phone range for a couple of days, and he had no idea that he had been acquired. But here he is in a Rockies uniform. Capuano ready, and the 1-2 pitch is a ground ball to the hole. A sliding stop by Uribe, who throws him out. Nice play by Juan Uribe, flashing to his left, and Scutaro taps to third. 1 away. The coaches, you have Glenn Allen Hill coaching at first for Colorado, and over at third, kind of a local boy, and that would be Rich Dower, the pride of USC. And by the way, Rich asked us to pass along a happy birthday wish to his dear friend Max Lofi, celebrating his 85th birthday today, and along with his warmest wishes to Max's wife Natalie. So we're delighted to help him out and pass that along. 1 away, and here is Pacheco, right-hand batter, hitting .263. Capuano working pretty much from the third base side of the rubber, and the left-hander deals fastball in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Jordan Pacheco out of Albuquerque. He went to the University of New Mexico and was a 9th-round pick 5 years ago. 6'1", 190. Pacheco takes a look at the next pitch low, and we have a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Pacheco without a home run or a run batted in, but he hadn't played much. Came up briefly last year. The 1-1 pitch is swung on and foul back, and the count 1-2. So we have 1 away in the first inning. No score in the ball game, the Rockies and the Dodgers. Colorado like the Dodgers, well rested. And Pacheco waits. The next one is swung on, popped up on the rim to the right side. Mark Ellis is there and makes the catch. So we have 2 down in the first inning. And the batter will be Carlos Gonzalez. Cargo, as they call him. And of course, one of the really multi-talented players in the game. So Gonzalez hitting .312, 7 home runs, 26 runs batted in. Seems like he always gives the Dodgers a bad time. And then when you look it up, you find he's hitting .383 against them. So Carlos Gonzalez waiting at the plate, a Gold Glove winner 2 years ago, and signed to a big contract. Left-hand hitter, takes a strike. As we mentioned earlier, Capuano holding left-hand hitters to a .231 batting average in his career. Chris looks over the tips of his glove, reading Matt Trainer, and the strike one pitch. Cargo takes off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. When you look at Carlos Gonzalez, he's from Maracaibo in Venezuela, 6'1", 225, 26 years old. He takes in the dirt. He had some pretty big years. 2 years ago, 34 home runs, 117 runs batted in, and he hit .336. He hit for the cycle that year. Then last year, 26 home runs and 92 runs batted in, and he hit .295. With 7 home runs, he waits at the plate. Capuano ready in the 2-1 pitch, swung on, pulled a line drive to right field, in for a base hit, rolling up against the bullpen gate, and Gonzalez goes steaming into second base, having blistered a double to right field. So Cargo very much on the beam, and that will bring up Troy Tulowitzki. Another look, a ball up around the belt, and he certainly knew what to do with that. So Carlos Gonzalez, a long double rattling around in front of the Dodgers visiting bullpen gate. And as he stands at second base, Troy Tulowitzki trying to pick him up. The big question right now, Tulo's been out 2 days. He's had a sore left groin, hitting .277. Both an all-star and a Gold Glove winner. He means so much to this ball club. Straight up hitter, takes an off-speed breaking ball for a strike, and the count 0-1. Among other things, Tulo is struggling against left-hand pitching. He's hitting .100. Last year he hit .319. And for some reason his hitting has fallen off at home. Hitting .268 at home. Last year .317. Strike one pitch, he backs away a high fastball, and the count 1-1. Troy Tulowitzki was very much of a first ball hitter. His lifetime career hitting the first pitch, .387. This year he's hitting less than 100. So he's trying to pick up Carlos Gonzalez. 2 out, first inning, no score. Capuano at the belt, left-hander deals, inside fastball to spin him around, and a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Tulowitzki would appear to be perking up. He's hit safely in 15 of his last 17. So Tulo, who means so much, with Todd Helton hitting back of him, and a 2-1 count. Troy batting .277. Here comes Capuano, and it's swung on and belted down the left field line and foul. So Tulowitzki all over that fastball, turned on it. Certainly nothing wrong with that swing. 2-2 the count. But the big question, certainly in Denver, they keep saying what's wrong with him, because they keep looking at the numbers from last year and in his career, and they don't measure up to what he's been doing so far this year. Tulo, by the way, has 9 infield hits. Whether he can run that well right now with the sore groin remains to be seen. Capuano ready. The 2-2 pitch on the way, swung on and hit foul off to the right upstairs, and the count stays 2-2. Troy Tulowitzki It's remarkable when you think about it. He signed a professional contract, and 14 months later, he was in the big leagues. That would be back in 2006. Then the next year, he broke the rookie shortstop home run record that had been held by Ernie Banks when he hit 24. The 2-2 pitch on the way. Tulo backs off. It's down at the feet. 3-2 the count. Chris Capuano will have another veteran hitter on deck, Todd Helton. So Tulowitzki has worked it all the way 3-2. That's an old trick used by Helton, who always gets deep in the count. 3-2 with 2 down. Carlos Gonzalez, who doubled at second base. Capuano a long look in to Matt Trainer. Now Chris straightens up. And here he comes, 3-2. And the left-handed deals. Fastball on the inside corner. Strike 3 called. Tulo started to go to first base, and Ed Rapuano brings him up. So no runs, 1 hit, a double, a man left at second. At the end of half an inning, no score. Mattingly's lineup for the Dodgers. D. Gordon leading off at short, Mark Ellis at second base, and Matt Kemp in center field. Andre Ethier in right, Bobby Abreu in left, Juan Uribe at third, James Loney at first, Matt Trainer behind the plate, Chris Capuano on the mound. Where do you start when you begin to talk about Jamie Moyer? He will be 50 years old. That's right, 50. November the 18th of this year. But you know, with all the things you could talk about, the first thing I would like to mention is the fact he is, without a doubt, the most charitably minded player that I know and have ever heard of. He has really been good to his fellow man. Jamie Reddy now making his first pitch, and it's in for a strike. If you look at the Dodger coaches, and we'll do that for a moment, Davey Lopes was in that Cubs lineup the day that Jamie Moyer made his big league debut with the Chicago Cubs in 1986. Later on, Davey batted against him, went 2 for 4, had a couple of doubles. Over at third, Tim Wallach had a lot of at-bats, 32 against Moyer, and in his stretch, he had a home run and 5 RBIs. And in the Dodger dugout, looking out at Jamie Moyer, Don Mattingly, he hit a home run against him. Meanwhile, D. Gordon pulls one foul down the right field line, and the count 0-1. Gordon batting .227, 1 home run, 8 runs batted in. We talked about Jamie Moyer being so charitably inclined. Left-hander ready in the 2-2 pitch, and that's pulled foul. For instance, Jamie Moyer met a little girl named Erin She had liver cancer, 15 years old. He was so affected by her that he and his wife established 18 bereavement camps. 2-2 pitch fouled away. What are those bereavement camps? They're for children who have lost their parents. He established 18 of them. And really, I mean, you could talk 15 minutes on all of the things this man has done. He's truly remarkable. 2-2 pitch on the way. Curveball popped up in foul ground. Coming down the line in a hurry is the third baseman, Pacheco, but it's Hernandez making the catch. So Gordon fouls out, and we have one out in the first inning, and the batter will be Mark Ellis. There are a lot of other things about Jamie Moyer we could drop in. There are 4 pitchers who have won more games in their 40s than in their 20s. Jack Quinn of the Phillies at 40 and on won 104. Phil Niekro won 131, 40 and on. Charlie Huff was another very successful pitcher once he became 40 years old. And there you give the numbers on the screen. In his 30s, he won 130. In his 40s, he won 104. Of course, when you talk about him winning, he's won 267 games. In fact, those numbers add up now to 268. 2-0 pitch on the way. That's taken for a strike, and they count 2-1. How hard does he throw? His fastball, 79 miles an hour. The 2-1 pitch on the way. Jamie Reddy delivers another fastball, and whoops, that was 81. Another thing about Moore, he's old-fashioned in wearing the uniform. You could play banjo with the side of the stirrup socks. They are stretched. The 2-2 pitch, curveball fouled away. Yep, that's the way they used to play him. And Jamie, who started professionally with the Cubs in 1986, still wearing them the same way. The 2-2 pitch on the way. That's foul back. In the very first game that Jamie Moyer pitched for the Cubs in 1986, the first man he faced was Ron Renicky, who's now the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers. And Renicky doubled. He got a walk to put runners at first and second, got an out, and got Mike Schmidt, the Hall of Famer, to hit into a double play. That was the first inning that Jamie Moyer ever pitched in the big leagues. In 2001, he won 20 games when he was 37 years old. Here's the 3-2 pitch fouled away. And what's really interesting, I guess, to talk about his longevity, you would concentrate on the Atlanta Braves. He beat the Braves in 1987. He was still pitching and beat them in 2007. 20 years between victories with the Braves. 3-2 fastball is whacked to left field, carrying well and gone into the bullpen. So Mark Ellis takes Jamie Moyer deep, and the Dodgers are on the board, leading 1-0. For Jamie Moyer, he has been bothered by the home run ball. That would be the 6th home run that he has given up, and it is 1-0 in favor of the Dodgers. 517 home runs allowed. Robin Roberts was in the Hall of Fame with 505. Like Moyer, Roberts was a master of giving up a lot of home runs, but with the bases empty. So Ellis homers, Dodgers lead 1-0, and the batter now is Matt Kemp. Moyer turns, ready. Jamie delivers in there for a strike. 0-1 the count to Matt, batting .385. 12 home runs, 27 runs batted in. A lot of the Dodgers, well, let's say at least 5 of them, were not born when Jamie Moyer started. Dee Gordon, Clayton Kershaw, Kenley Jansen, Josh Lindblom, and the newcomer Scott Van Slyke. They were not born when Jamie made his debut. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way to Matt Kemp, swung on and fouled away. Including one playoff game here as Clayton Kershaw who was born in '88, 2 years after Moyer made his professional debut. Including one playoff game, Jamie has started 8 other games at Dodger Stadium. He's not done well here. He is 1-4 in his career. High ERA over 7. 1-2 pitch to Kemp is taken on the inside corner. Strike 3 called. Matt looks out respectfully and then turns and goes away. Another look at Mark Ellis getting a pitch above the knees, and he certainly knew what to do with it. So Ellis drives it into the Dodger bullpen. Dodgers take a 1-0 lead, and with 2 out, the batter will be Andre Ethier. So Ellis sitting back with that home run, a treasure. He can always tell the grandkids that he hit one off Jamie. For Moyer, he has given up 6, and for Mark Ellis, that was his first of the year. So here now is Andre Ethier batting .284, 6 home runs, 30 runs batted in. Ethier hitting .286 against left-handers, .284 against right-handers. Hits a little pop fly to Moyer. So Jamie halfway to the plate makes the catch. And for the Dodgers, they get a run, one swing of the bat by Mark Ellis. And at the end of an inning, Dodgers 1, Rockies nothing. Off 3 pitches with a 2-strike count, then took ball 3, and on a 3-2 pitch, he took Jamie Moyer downtown. Bob Apodaca, the Rockies pitching coach, talking to the veteran. Second inning, 1-0 in favor of the Dodgers. Todd Helton will start it off. He shies away from a big breaking ball up around the top of his head. 1 ball and no strikes. Helton struggling, hitting .236. He has 4 home runs. 21 runs batted in. Todd, left-hand hitter, looks at a strike. Todd Helton will be 39, so you have a 49-year-old pitcher and a 39-year-old first baseman. Now the 1-1 pitch on the way. Helton looks at a curveball off the plate. For Todd, he still has some magic. He's up there in the top 10 extra base hits to plate appearances. 7th lowest striking out compared to the walks. The 2-1 pitch on the way. He has a look, and that's going to cost him a strike. And the count 2-2. For Helton, and it's so typical, he has walked 12 times and he has struck out 11. He has always been that kind of a hitter. The 2-2 pitch coming up. In fact, Helton tired of waiting and backs out. So Todd Helton working on a 2-2 count. He's always been a very good first ball hitter. The 2-2 pitch on the way. Helton has a look, and that's off the plate. And so, as usual, he gets very deep in the count. So Capuano working on Helton. On deck, Kadire, and then Hernandez. And the 3-2 pitch coming up to Helton. Swung on and fouled at the plate. That took a bite out of Trainer, and the count remains 3-2. For Todd Helton, I believe this is the last year of that big contract that he signed. Trainer got hit on the right hand on that foul ball. That was, remember, that $141.5 million deal for 9 years through this season. 3-2 pitch to Todd. He swings, grounds it to the hole, through for a base hit into right field. So Todd Helton, single sharply to right, and that will bring up Mike Kadire. 2 hits off Capuano. Kadire hitting .284, 3 home runs, 19 runs batted in. Jim Tracy talked about him before the ball game, saying a thoroughly professional ball player. Spent 11 years with the Minnesota Twins. He hit the cycle against Milwaukee back in 2009. Signed with the Twins in 1997. He takes a big slow curveball in for a strike. Mike is from Virginia, lives in Chesapeake, born in Norfolk. He is deaf in his left ear, not just because he has the ear flap covering the left ear. It's the result of a childhood virus, and yet he says it's never been a problem. He holds up on a strike. In fact, when he signed his first contract with the Minnesota Twins, he checked no by the line asking if he had any hearing problems. And he says, well, it wasn't a problem. So he signed no. 0-2 the count. He's well put together, 6'2", 220. Capuano throws to first. Helton back on the bag. Todd does have a stolen base. Todd is 1 for 1. It's 1-0 Dodgers. Home run by Mark Ellis. We're in the second inning. Kadire waiting at the plate, and the 0-2 pitch coming up. Capuano works it away, and it's foul to the screen. Kadire leaning across the plate to take a swipe at it. Mike led the U.S. Junior National Team to a bronze medal at the World Championships. So he was a very good player even as a very young kid. He passed up a scholarship to Florida State to turn pro. Throw to first, Helton back on the bag. In high school, Kadire was a National Honor Society member. Interesting, in the year 2000, just before he came up to the Twins, his Topps baseball card had the wrong name on it. High fly ball to center, but it's playable. Matt Kemp is waiting and makes the catch. Helton bluffs just to draw a throw. So Kadire a fly ball to center, 1 away, and the batter will be Ramon Hernandez. So Kadire just hits under it, and we have 1 away. Hernandez doing a very good job from all we hear behind the plate. Ramon from Caracas makes his home in Miami now. Was originally signed by the A's, so certainly he and Mark Ellis know each other very well. Hernandez an even 6 and a good 225. Ramon the last 3 years had been with the Reds, and the first pitch swung on and foul back, and the count 0-1. He has some sock. He had as many as 23 home runs with the Orioles. He had 12 last year with Cincinnati. Ramon Hernandez. He's a very good pal of Miguel Tejada. In fact, each man named the other as his son's godfather. Here's the strike 1 pitch, slow breaking ball in for a strike. That came in there at 77 miles an hour. And to Ramon Hernandez's credit, in May last year, he passed the exam and became a United States citizen after being sworn in. 0-2 the count to Hernandez. Capuano ready, comes back, ground ball wide to third. Uribe up with it, gets it down to second. They're going to turn it to first, but Loney is off the bag. Mark Ellis pretty much taken out of the play by Todd Helton. Though the veteran who knows a lot about the game is able to break up the double play. He went in legitimately. Ellis had to leap in the air, so he couldn't get much on the throw. So 5-4 force play. It keeps the inning alive. And it brings up the switch hitter, Dexter Fowler. Ellis upended as he did one of those side straddle hops on the sliding Todd Helton. Fowler hitting right-handed, takes the first pitch a little high. Dexter batting only .222. He does have 4 home runs and 13 runs batted in. One thing, Jim Tracy has certainly tried to help him. The next pitch is swung on and missed. 12 times this year trying to help Fowler. Jim Tracy has had him swinging 2-0. But with a .222 batting average, he's come up empty most of the time. Out of Alpharetta, Georgia, a 14th round pick 8 years ago, still has not done what the Rockies thought he would do. 1-1 to count. Capuano comes back, a little nubber out front of the plate. Trainer, a nice recovery, throws to Loney in time, and that'll do it. So the Rockies get a leadoff single and nothing else. No runs to hit, a man left, and at the end of an inning and a half, 1-0 Dodgers. Jamie Moyer ready to go to work against Bobby Abreu, Juan Uribe, and James Loney. Abreu has done well in limited service with the Dodgers. Of course, a veteran hitter. People questioning the speed of his bat, but at least with the Dodgers hitting .357 and an overall batting average of .263. So you have 49-year-old Moyer pitching to Bobby Abreu, and Bobby is 38. So there's some veteran players in this one. And Moyer feet together on the rubber, ready to make his first pitch to Abreu. And it's a so-called fastball for a strike at about 80. Moyer is one of only 2 pitchers in Major League history to go from 23 games under 500 to 23 over in his career. The strike one pitch is low. He joins Red Ruffing for the pitch for the Red Sox, Yankees, and White Sox. Jamie, of course, has gone on to be 62 games over 500. Now the 1-1 pitch on the way, swung on, popped up. Tulowitzki backing out on the grass, waiting, and makes the catch for the out. So Abreu pips it up. One away. We had Gordon foul out. We had Ethier pop up to Moyer, and now Abreu popping up to Tulowitzki. So Juan Uribe coming up with one away, 1-0 Dodgers. Moyer with one away. Uribe checks in at 247. Takes a fastball at the knees. Again to qualify. His fastball, the high is 81. We've heard that his high was 79, but he's throwing a little bit harder apparently. Another one that's a little low and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jamie Moyer makes his home in Bradenton, Florida. They tell a great story about his father-in-law. You may remember the former basketball coach Digger Phelps, and of course he's done a lot of TV. Yeah, Digger is Jamie's father-in-law. He was struggling. He was like 30 and 40 and coming back up from the minor leagues, and the family was having dinner. Uribe swings, doesn't get it, and they count 2-2. And in the course of the dinner, they were talking about Jamie struggling, and he was saying, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. And Phelps said, I'll tell you one thing you've got to do, get a job. Well, he got the job throwing a baseball, and he's made a magnificent career out of it. Uribe fouls a pitch back and just looks out at Moyer as if saying, how in the world could you possibly throw that pitch? Now Juan back up. Of course, when you're accustomed to seeing 95s and all that kind of stuff, look, Uribe looking at him. 2-2 pitch is low, ball 3. So perhaps it takes these big league hitters a time to make the adjustment. Jamie's 3-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed a 73-mile-an-hour changeup, and Uribe strikes out to be number 2. So be sure to bring the kids to Dodger Stadium Sunday, May 20th, 5 o'clock. Dodgers and Cardinals, and the first 15,000 kids 14 and under in attendance receive their very own power necklace, compliments of Wetzel's Pretzel. For tickets, go to Dodgers.com/promotion. By the way, that Sunday game will be on ESPN. So here now, James Loney hitting .213 with a home run and 8 runs batted in. He takes a breaking ball off the plate. 1 ball and no strike. Loney 1 home run, 8 runs batted in. Moyer into the windup, and the 1-0 pitch, breaking ball misses. He's behind 2-0. Interesting, with a left-hander going, Gordon, Ethier, Abreu, Loney, and Capuano are all left-hand batters. The word was left-hand hitters have been giving him a bad time. The 2-0 pitch, good breaking ball for a strike. Well, so far, Gordon, the left-hander, popped up. Ethier popped up. Abreu popped up. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. The next one way out in front of it is Loney, and they count 2-2. So it's obviously what's going on here. Moyer throwing different pitches at different speeds, even though the high is 81 and the low is like 72. But he never throws the same pitch twice, and he never throws in the same location back to back. 2-2 pitch, swung on, missed, and down goes Loney. So James, he's gone to school. 3 strikeouts for Moyer, but at the end of 2, it's 1-0 Dodgers. On the home run by Mark Ellis. Jamie Moyer will start it all. Then it'll be Scutaro and Pacheco. Chris Capuano ready to go to work, but first checking his outfield. For Jamie Moyer, when he made the first pitch of the season, the only other pitcher in Major League history who's been older and made a Major League start, the great Satchel Paige. Capuano ready, and the first pitch, a high fastball, ball one. And of course, Satchel Paige was 59 years, 80 days old when he started for Kansas City. The 1-0 pitch to Jamie, he takes a strike, and the count 1-1. Pretty remarkable to realize that 2 years ago, 47 years old, and Jamie had the Tommy John procedure. The procedure is actually 12 years younger than he is. Jamie waiting, and the 1-1 pitch on the way, taken low and outside, ball 2, 2-1. The Moyers had 6 children, and they decided they wanted a 7th. They wanted to have a team. They wanted to have 9 Moyers. So they adopted Jennifer, who was an infant, from a Guatemalan orphanage. So they now have 7 children, mom and dad, 9 little Moyers. 3-1 to count to Jamie. Capuano ready with the Dodgers leading 1-0. Moyer takes a strike, and the count 3-2. For Jamie Moyer, he has had 8 at bats, and he has struck out 7 times, but he does have 1 hit. 3-2 pitch. Fastball, little nubber by the mound. Mark Ellis picks it up underhands to first in time for the out. So Moyer taps out, 1 down, and the batter now will
second
be
baseman Marco Scutaro.
Marco Scutaro. Scutaro hitting .258, grounded to third in the first inning. He came from the Red Sox to Colorado. Rockies traded right-hand pitcher Clay Mortensen for him, and he's done very well. A career Major League batting average of .270. Now the strike 1 pitch on the way. Scutaro backs off. It's down in the dirt. New ball put in play by Ed Rapuano, and the count 1-1 strike. Scutaro, a good shortstop, but he's playing second base. He's a good base runner. He'll steal an occasional base. He hits a ground ball to Uribe. Juan is up with it, throws him out easily, and we have 2 out in the third inning with the Dodgers leading 1-0. Say, be sure to give the gift of Dodger baseball. Bring your mom to Dodger Stadium 110 Sunday, Mother's Day. Fans will receive Andre Ethier tote bags, compliments of Murad skincare, and after the game, mothers and families invited down to the field to enjoy a walk around the park. So visit Dodgers.com/promotions today, and we'll see you Sunday. 2 out. Pacheco up there, and he takes off the plate. Ball 1. Capuano gave up a 2-out double to Gonzalez in the first inning and a leadoff single to Helton. One ball and no strikes. Cap delivers, and that's foul back, and the count 1-1 strike. Pacheco hitting .250. Not much else to talk about. No home runs. No runs batted in. He appeared in 21 games last year. He holds up. They're going to look at first. No swing, says Angel Hernandez. And the count 2-1 strike. Pacheco listed as a catcher, but he's playing third base. Lifts it into right field. Ethier coming in for it, waiting, makes the catch. So the Rockies go very quietly in the third, and at the end of 2.5 innings, Dodgers 1, Rockies 0. Jack Ellis. It'll be Matt Trainer, then Chris Capuano, and Dee Gordon. So Trainer giving A.J. Ellis a rest. And the Dodgers feel they have a veteran catcher who can handle that position very well. Very tough to play this game even when you play every day. But when you only play 7 times in 32 games, it's pretty tough. Matt takes off the plate, ball 1. You would think that it's been all beer and Skittles for Jamie Moyer to have such a long and illustrious career, but he's known problems. The 1-0 pitch on the way change, and Matt way out in front of it, 1-1. Oh, it was a while ago, back in 1994. He was on a boat snorkeling, and he had his little son who was about a year and a half old on the boat with him. Jamie ready. 1-1 pitch on the way. Comebacker. Moyer has it, turns, gets it over to first base. 1 away. Anyway, he was snorkeling on the boat with his baby boy, and the mast of the boat fell on Moyer and his young son. The son suffered a fractured skull. Oh, we're happy to say he's doing fine now, but it was terrifying for Jamie and his wife. But the little boy is doing fine. Moyer feet together on the rubber. Chris Capuano checks in. 1 out in the 3rd. Dodgers lead 1-0. Jamie ready. Left-hander deals, and it's fouled away. 0-1 the count. As we mentioned, we had heard that Moyer was only hitting 79. Maybe the Dodger speed gun is a little faster, but he has hit 81 several times. No balls and 1 strike. The next one to Capuano was swung on and missed. Among other things, Jamie and his wife run the Moyer Foundation. It benefits children's charities. An active supporter of the Freddie Hutchinson Cancer Research Center, Life Center Northwest, and Refuse to Abuse, among other organizations. The next pitch foul back. Still 0-2 to Capuano. How does he pitch when he's 49 in the big leagues? He really works at it. That's what he does. And among other things, he's in great shape. I know I heard at one time his body fat was 8%. Strike 2 pitch is a little low, ball 1. Also, before every start, I'm not sure if he does it anymore, but I know he used to hone his eyes in concentration. Tell you what he would do in a moment. The 1-2 pitch on the way, swung on and fouled away. He would study a laminated card. There was a grid of about 100 numbers placed in random order. And somehow or other, he would study that card. He had another set of cards with 3 steps to problem solving. Here's the 1-2 pitch, curveball, a little low and outside, bouncing, 2-2 to count. He uses a stair climber, a stationary bike, does a lot of stretching, works before and after games. 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed. And down goes Capuano. So Moyer, with the off-speed stuff, has struck out 4. And with 2 out in the 3rd inning, Dee Gordon will be coming up. Of course, when you realize a lot of these young players coming up, Moyer faced the father, like Tony Gwynn and Tony Gwynn Jr. Jamie won 20 games when he was 39. And the first pitch to Dee Gordon, a little low, ball 1. You would wonder about Gordon. He's got a 49-year-old pitcher. You would wonder if he tried a bunt. He popped up and fouled out in the first inning. Well, he showed bunt. 2 balls and no strikes. What do you get from Moyer? The whole store. Fastball, couple of curves, slider, cutter, sinker, change. That's in there. 2-1 to count. Somebody asked Moyer, did you ever throw 90 miles an hour? Jamie said, 2 pitches added together, maybe. 2-1. 1-0 Dodgers, bottom of the 3rd. There's the bunt we thought about, fouled away. 2-2 the count. I mean, you just wonder how long you going to let a 49-year-old stand comfortably on the mound? You figure you got to move him around a little bit. For Jamie, if you ask him, his best pitch is his changeup, even though he's not really changing off much. 2-2. And a little foul off third out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Years ago, the San Francisco Giants had a soft thrower, Stu Miller. Miller became an all-star. Was famous for during the all-star game, he was blown off the mound at Candlestick Park. 2-2 pitch on the way, swung on and missed. 5 strikeouts for Moyer. He is now retired 8 in a row since the home run by Ellis, and it's 1-0 Dodgers.
Cold one to look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game. Brought to you by Miller Lite.
4th inning, 1-0 Dodgers on the home run by Mark Ellis. Carlos Gonzalez, who just absolutely wears the Dodgers out, will start it off. Cargo doubled in the 1st inning to continue his terrific hitting. Shows bunt, ball 1. Coming into this game, he has a career batting average of .383, and he's 1 for 1, so he's moved up on that. Top of the heap would be David Wright of the Mets. 2-0 the count to Cargo, as they call him. Capuano, meanwhile, has allowed 2 hits and nothing else, leading 1-0 in the 4th. And remember, with his scoreless string, he has 21 2/3 scoreless innings. Strike. Fastball at the knees. 2-1. Remember, Gonzalez got a ball up around the belt, and he certainly knew what to do with it. Two and one. Ball 3. Gonzalez so very, very valuable. We mentioned, talking about lengthy salaries, Gonzalez has a 7-year deal that goes through 2017. Tulowitzki has a dandy of his own. And that's a strike. Gonzalez thought it was ball. 3-2. Tulowitzki, his contract runs through 2020. And Todd Helton, he had an extension of his 9-year deal. So he has this year and next year. So they have the big 3. 3-2. Fastball hit to left field. Coming over is Abreu. One out in the fourth. And Troy Tulowitzki coming up.
For the Rockies, shortstop, Troy Tulowitzki.
Tulowitzki struggling. Such a good ball player. Though even the really good ones struggle. 3 home runs, 13 runs batted in. Now when you look at Tulowitzki's past, he had 32 home runs 4 years ago. He had 27 home runs 2 years ago. He had 30 home runs last year. And ball 1. We mentioned some of the good points about Colorado's offense. They're especially effective at home. That slice to right, Ethier on the run. 2 down in the 4th inning.
First baseman, number 17, Todd Helton.
That's 8 in a row retired by Capuano since the base hit by Todd Helton. And here's Todd now. He grounded a single to right field in the 2nd inning. Rockies are not a ball club that walks a lot. That's number 1. They don't get a lot of runners on base for Jim. They don't steal bases. They're maybe average. We told you they score 6.5 runs at home, but only 3 runs on the road. 2-0. Rarely are there hitters ahead in the count, but in this case, Helton up there with a 2-ball, no-strike count. Pulled on the ground to Loney. He'll hang it for Capuano coming over. Nice easy inning. 9 in a row retired now by Chris. And at the end of 3.5 innings, still 1-0 Dodgers. The man who put the run on the board will lead it off. That would be Mark Ellis, who fouled off 3 two-strike pitches, and then on a 3-2 count, got a hold of one and put it to the back of the Dodger bullpen. By the way, for Mark Ellis, that was his 2nd career home run against Moyer. And for Moyer, he has to shrug. 328 different players have now homered against Jamie Moyer. 328. That's right. 0-1. Jamie, meanwhile, has struck out 5 and retired 8 in a row since the home run. 1-1.
slow off speed, but it stayed up. Ball 2. That was 67. So that's the slowest. I think Jamie thought he might have had a strike. When these two play, normally you see quite a few runs. High fly ball to center, but it's playable. Dexter Fowler. 1 away. Over the last 30 games, and they have split the 30. Dodgers have averaged 5.3 runs per game, and the Dodgers 5.4. They have each had 16 10 or more hit games. The Rockies team batting average against the Dodgers over that stretch, 268. The Dodgers 286. Rockies 39 home runs and the Dodgers 36. Ground ball, Scutaro. 2 down. Talking a little bit about Stu Miller a little while ago, how Miller would throw soft stuff and just make it look so easy. But Miller had one little tantalizing thing in his delivery. He had a kind of a head fake. And the hitters, if they were concentrating on the whole body instead of just the arm speed, they tell me they were thrown off by the head, the movement of it. You don't see any tricks by Moyer. It's a very routine, ordinary windup. Big curveball away, ball 1. That was 69. Ethier popped up to Moyer. Little pop fly. 1 ball and no strike. That's on the corner. Boy, he just shreds the strike zone. Of course, coming in, his numbers were certainly not impressive. His earned run average was 4, and he 1 and 2. Check swing, no swing. The other note about Moyer, the opposition is hitting .324 against him until tonight. 2-1. And a drive to the gap in right center. Kadire trying to get under it, but it's going to hit the base of the wall. Ethier steaming into second base with a sliding double. So Andre Ethier now has 10 doubles, a triple, and 6 home runs. And with 2 out, they'll look to Bobby Abreu to pick him up. That sweet swing of Andre Ethier finding the gap and bouncing off the wall. That's only the second hit of Moyer. Bobby Abreu popped up to short in the second inning. So Abreu hitting .333, trying to pick him up. And a strike. If you figure that at 38 or so, Abreu's bat speed is slowed, well, it would be a complementary part of the act with Jamie Moyer. So the big thing for Abreu is patience. For that matter, for all the hitters. Dropped in there, so all of a sudden Abreu's in a hole, no balls and 2 strikes. Ethier at second. Dodgers lead 1-0, 2 out, 4th inning. Just shows him that away. One ball and 2 strikes to Bobby Abreu, the man from Maracay in Venezuela. Jamie started in '86 in the majors. 10 years later, Abreu came to the big league. 2-2. 4 years ago, Jamie Moyer had 2 hits in a game. He won the game for the Phillies. He was 45 years of age, and there are only a couple who are able to do that. Jack Quinn, Satchel Paige, and Charlie Huff. Just off the corner. 3-2. Patience, patience, and more patience. Juan Uribe on deck. 1-0 in favor of the Dodgers. First inning home run by Mark Ellis. Three and two. And stroked into left field. Abreu gets the base hit. The run batted in, and the Dodgers lead 2-0. So Bobby, just as the players say, waiting on the ball, waiting until it's almost on top of him to make sure, and then he just stroked it into left field. He can still handle that bat. There's no two ways about that. So Abreu, a single to cash in Ethier, and the Dodgers take a 2-0 lead. Abreu visiting with Helton for the moment, and now Uribe, who struck out in the second inning, at the plate. High fly ball to right center, but playable. Kadire is there. Mike puts it away, and that's it. 1 run, 2 hits. The run driven in by Bobby Abreu, and the Dodgers lead 2-0. Paul LaDuca goes 6 for 6, becoming only the 7th player in club history to total 6 hits in a game. He singled in each of his first 3 at-bats, came through again in the 6th with a 3-run home run off Pedro Estacio. In the 8th, Paul drove in the tying run. The 6th hit came in the form of a single to lead off the 11th, and 3 batters later, LaDuca scored the winning run on a single off the bat of Sean Green. 2-0 in favor of the Dodgers as we go to the 5th inning. Dodgers getting some very bad news today. Dodger outfielder Juan Rivera has a ruptured left hamstring tendon and could be out as long as 2 months, trainer Sue Falsone said today. If there is surgery, well, it'd just be quite a blow. Rivera, so valuable, playing left field, first base, gone for at least 2 months. Mike Kadire flied to center in the second inning. 0-1. You know, when you think about it, as Kadire waits at the plate, Chris Capuano was a marvelous pickup by Ned Colletti as he brings a 4-0 record into tonight's game. 0-2. Remember last year, Capuano was with the Mets. He was 11-12. A couple of other pitchers have done well, going from one team to another. High fly ball to left center. Kemp going back on the track at the wall. So Kadire, a long out to center. It's a little on the cool side, and there is a breeze, blowing from left to right that might, well, it's dying now, but it might have affected that ball. It was so close to going out. You would certainly think about that. Kemp never gave up. One away. And here's Ramon Hernandez. Derek Lowe, who left the Dodgers to go to the Braves, left the Braves to go to Cleveland. Derek's 5-1. Jason Hamill, who was with the Rockies, moved on to Baltimore. He's 4-1. And Gio Gonzalez of Washington, who left the A's, 3-1 with the Nationals. 1-0. Tomorrow night, Juan Nicasio and Aaron Harang. Sunday, Alex White and Ted Lilly. Doug Pomerantz was listed as the starting pitcher, and they've sent him out. By the way, what a combination it could be, Capuano and Lilly. You put them together combined, they've made 11 starts, and they're 8-0 with a combined earned run average of less than 2. We'll see Lilly on Sunday and Harang tomorrow night. Three and one the count. And lifted to shallow right center, and it'll be easier. So Hernandez a fly ball, 2 down. Dexter Fowler coming up. Be sure to visit MLB.com/fan guide for a chance to win a VIP experience for 2 at a World Series game this year. Presented by Scotts, the official lawn care company of MLB. We mentioned earlier Ed Rapuano is the plate umpire. Ed Hickok is the umpire at third. Interesting note about the two of them. That's a strike. When Jared Weaver no-hit the Twins in Anaheim earlier this month, 2 of the umpires that night, Ed Hickok and Ed Rapuano, completed what you'd call an umpire's no-hit cycle, if you will. For both, they were 1 base shy of having umpired a no-hitter at first base, second base, third base, and home plate over their careers. Sure enough, Rapuano was at second base to complete his cycle. Hickok was at first to complete his cycle, and Fowler hits a comebacker to complete this inning. Nice play by Capuano, and at the end of 4.5 innings, 2-0 Dodgers. Duel But Capuano has been absolutely brilliant. He's retired 12 in a row. Moyer gave up a home run to the second hitter he faced, retired 10 in a row, and then gave up another run. Though they are locked in, it is 2-0 in favor of the Dodgers. Moyer is due to lead off when Colorado bats in the 6th, so this may be his last inning. We'll see. Loney, Trainer, and Capuano in that order. And a shot up the middle, base hit to center. So Loney, who struck out in the second inning, grounds a single to lead off the inning, and the batter will be Matt Trainer. Time to get you thinking a little bit. A trivia question. Moyer, one of 5 pitchers with 20 wins in a season. He started at age 40 plus. Who are the others? Trainer hit back to the box in the 3rd inning. Matt 0 for 1. Dodgers 2, Rockies nothing. 5th inning. Way out in front. 0-1. Matt hit back to the box in the 3rd inning. Mark Ellis homered in the 1st. Ethier a 2-out double in the 4th, and Abreu went 3-2 and promptly single to left to drive in the 2nd run. 0-1. Ground ball wide at 3rd. It's going to find its way. So 2 base hits up the middle and the left, and Moyer's in a jam. Capuano, who is a very good bunter. In fact, the Dodgers used him last time as a bunter.
Pitcher number 35, Chris Capuano.
Capuano has a half a dozen bunts, so he's number 1 on the pitching staff. So the Rockies will pull up the corners, and you would certainly expect Capuano to try to get the bunt down. Shows bunt, gets it down, fielded by Helton. They throw and get a force. Nice play by Todd Helton. So Capuano bunts into a force play. James Loney is cut down. 3-5. That's always a nice play to watch. First baseman committing, charging, and being left-handed helped in some ways. Kind of an awkward throw. It would have helped if Helton was just able to run to the ball and pick it up and throw across his body. But with 3 Gold Gloves, he knew how to handle that for sure. So the fielder's choice, 1st and 2nd, 1 out. And D. Gordon, who was fouled out and struck out, coming up. Keep waiting for him to bunt. He has shown the bunt, fouled off a bunt. Well, with his style of attack and a 49-year-old pitcher out there, you would certainly expect him to try to get one down. 0-1. There's the bunt in the air, foul. Dodgers 2 runs, 5 hits. The Rockies no runs, 2 hits. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Jamie Moyer is due to lead off in the 6th. No one throwing yet in the Rocky bullpen if Tracy is thinking ahead for a hitter. Almost hit him. Tell you, that's when you're facing a guy in the 70s, you might take one for the club, but the instinct is to back away. 1-2. As you can imagine, with such a long career that Moyer has had, he's had to play through a lot of injuries in the dirt. I mean, not only the Tommy John surgery, he's had a lot of arm problems. He had a strained muscle in his back. He had a hairline fracture of his left kneecap 12 years ago. Comebacker that nailed him. He had a blood infection. I mean, it goes on and on. You can't just play this game that long with having to meet a lot of health problems. And a breaking ball takes care of D. For Moyer, that gives him 6 strikeouts. And with 2 out, Mark Ellis, who has hit the ball hard both times. And you can see Gordon was out in front of it. That's the thing we were talking about with Bobby Abreu. The hitters have to keep saying to themselves, wait, 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 stay back, stay back. A kid probably thinks that ball looks like a basketball, can't wait to whack it in there. Ellis homered into the bullpen, fly deep to center. Just inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Matt Kemp 0 for 2 waiting on deck. Ellis with 5 runs batted in has a home run and hitting .274. As we mentioned earlier, his home run in the first inning, the second that he has had against Moyer. 2-1. Just off the corner. Ellis showing great discipline. It's a big at bat. Remember, he went 3-2, fouled off 3 2-strike pitches, and then hit the home run. And a high fly ball into deep left center field. Back goes Fowler off the wall. In comes Trainer. In comes Capuano on a long double by Mark Ellis. And the Dodgers pick up a deuce and lead 4-0. So a home run on a 3-2 pitch and a double on a 3-1 pitch. So Ellis having a big night. 3 runs batted in. Fowler trying to get under it, but no chance. Hit high off the wall. Gonzalez had to come over to get it. So Ellis at second base, and now they will walk Matt Kemp. So Matt will get the intentional walk. Jim Tracy feels in any particular spot where you could get a run, he would walk Kemp. But he has Ethier on deck, who doubled in the 4th inning and then scored. So Dodgers 4, Rockies nothing here in the 5th inning. And they are now moving around in the visiting bullpen. In a moment, they'll get somebody up down there. Jim Tracy was talking about changing his roster, and he said, we're going to move the furniture around until we get it right. Well, they're moving the furniture around in the bullpen. Carlos Torres, a right-hander, begins to loosen up, and Moyer is not very long for this game. Moyer had made 72 pitches. Well, actually 69 through 4. And then all of a sudden here in the 5th, he has fallen upon lean times. He has now made 87 pitches in the game. That was only 72, and you can hear the words, stay back, stay back. And that's going to be over the leaping try of Scutaro. 1 run will score, brought in by Ellis. Stopping at third is Kemp. And the beat goes on. Dodgers score 3, lead 5-0. And for Andre Ethier, he now has a double and a single. So Moyer is on the ropes, that's for sure, and very close to coming out. Bob Apodaca will go out to talk to him. So Apodaca making the rather long, painful walk out to the mound. Moyer had pitched so very well until this inning. I was just thinking, Bob Apodaca has certainly put in his time in baseball. He's 63, talking to a pitcher who'll be 50, but it looks like he's lecturing more than anything about, I would guess, pitch selection. Moyer and Hernandez listening. 10 years. Bob, who's from Los Angeles, and surviving to be the pitching coach. The pitchers have such a bad time in Colorado. And of course, when they struggle, you don't fire the pitchers, you fire the coach. But for Bob Apodaca, he has had a wonderful career, and he's been there 10 years. So here is Bobby Abreu with runners at first and third. Abreu is 1 for 2, singled in a run, and fouls it away. So Loney and Trainer singled. Capuano bunted into a force play, and Gordon struck out, so it looked like maybe Moyer would get out of it. But Mark Ellis doubled high off the wall. That chased in 2, and then Ethier single chased in Ellis. 1-1. Nothing Dodgers. For Chris Capuano, happily off the baselines and a chance to rest. Off the plate. So he's been pitching Abreu away. Bobby popped to short in the second inning, but then went with the pitch away and lined it into left field for a base hit and a run batted in. So Ethier and Kemp at the corners. 2-2. For the Rockies, if they were home, you'd say, well, down 5-0, but you're not out of it. They average about 6.5 runs a game at home. But on the road, it's another story. Tulowitzki and company averaging only 3 runs a game on the road. 2-2. Abreu is the 8th hitter to come up in the inning. Fouled away. Moyer has now made 94 pitches, so he is laboring here. That would mean he's made 25 pitches in the inning. Bobby always looks like he knows something you don't know and has that half smile on his face. Not Mona Lisa, but I know a little bit more, and he knows strike 3 when he sees it, and down he goes. For the Dodgers, a big inning. They pick up 3, probably dispatch Moyer, and lead 5-0.
With over 49,000 at Dodger Stadium, and for good reason. It was Sandy Koufax against Juan Marichal and the Giants. In the Giant lineup, Hall of Famers Willie Mays, Orlando Cepeda, and Willie McCovey. How'd it come out? Dodgers won 8-0. Sandy Koufax pitched a no-hitter. Sandy won 25-5 that year, had an earned run average of 1.8, believe it or not, and he was the MVP and the Cy Young Award winner. Wow. Let's go back to this one. Gene Nelson coming up to bat, Chris Nelson coming up to hit for Jamie Moyer. 5-0 Dodgers in the 6th inning. Moyer made 27 pitches and a total of 96, and he was done. Nelson has had a bad wrist, hitting .246. Chris broke in with a bang with the Rockies in a game late in 2010 against the Reds. He stole home. 1-1. He's from Decatur, Georgia. That's a strike. We were talking about so many people, players and even outfielders and pitchers who had the Tommy John surgery. Chris Nelson had the Tommy John surgery when he was in high school. 2-2. He'll be 27 in September. He was a first-round pick 8 years ago. Down he goes. So Capuano has now retired 13 in a row.
Second baseman.
Let's get back to the trivia question. Jamie Moyer, 1 of 5 with 20 wins in a season, started at age 40 plus. Who are the others? Cy Young, wow. Grover Alexander, and then Warren Spahn and Phil Niekro. Scutaro grounded to third twice, 0 for 2, hitting .256. Ball 1. Marco with 1 run batting in as a leadoff man. 2-0 the count. Juan Nicasio and Aaron Harang tomorrow night. And then Sunday, Alex White and Ted Lilly. Ball 3. Capuano has worked his way through 5 with an out in the 6th. So he now has 24 consecutive scoreless innings. Exactly. 3-0. He has allowed a double to Gonzalez in the first inning and a single to Helton in the second, and he's retired 13 in a row since Helton's base hit. 3-2. It looks like Capuano can throw any of his pitches for strike. He's having that kind of a night. Three and 2. Fastball foul back. Well, we were talking before about Jamie Moyer and all the physical problems that he had. How about Chris? He's had the Tommy John surgery twice as he works on Scutaro. He had Tommy John surgery in 2002, and he had it again 6 years later. A graduate of Duke University. Graduated Phi Beta Kappa too. Change and a hopper speared by the diving Gordon, who gets it in the dirt, and Loney comes off the bag. Angel Hernandez indicating that in order to go out and get the throw, Loney came off. The tremendous effort by D. Gordon.
Line drive, looks like a base hit. Then the hop. Here comes Gordon.
Third baseman, number 22.
It's going to be on a bounce. Loney. Well, hard to say, but he had the inside of the bag, it looked like. So Scudero will get himself a single. That breaks the string at 13, and it'll bring up Pacheco. Right, 0-1. Pacheco popped up, fly to right, 0 for 2. The Rockies, even though they score more runs at home than they do on the road, they're still under 500 both places. High fly ball. Kemp has a play. 2 down. Scudero holding at first, and the batter will be Carlos Gonzalez. Rockies came here 8-10 at home, 5-7 on the road. The one thing that Jim Tracy's club has done, they have batted well against the West. Their team batting average against Western Division pitching, 287. By the way, Jim Tracy, no matter how badly things go for the Rockies this year, is a happy man. He is now a grandfather. 0-1. Jim and Debbie celebrating the birth of a grandson over in the Dodger dugout. Rick Honeycutt and his wife Debbie celebrating the 4th time. There's Rick holding the pad. They became grandparents for the 4th time the other day. 1-1. Carlos Gonzalez, double to right, fly to left, hitting .315. Hitting about .390 in his career against the Dodgers. This year, 7 home runs, 26 runs batted in. Kind of a wild swing, 1-2. On deck, Troy Tulowitzki. Capuano 89 pitches at this juncture. 1-2. 2-2. Gonzalez, a left-handed batter, facing left-hand pitching. 4 of his 7 home runs have been hit against left-handers. Two and 2. And popped it up. Foul ground. Uribe and Trainer. It will be Uribe. Gonzalez flings the bat away in disgust. They leave Scudero at first, and at the end of 5.5, 5-0 Dodgers. by Hyundai. The votes are in. The Hyundai Elantra is the 2012 North American Car of the Year. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. By CarMax, start the search for your next car at CarMax. Start here. And by Dodge. Dodgers leading 5-0. Chris Nelson, who batted for Jamie Moyer and struck out, stays in the game at third base. Carlos Torres will go in Pacheco's spot and the number 2 spot in the lineup. Carlos was born in Santa Cruz here in California, but his home is in Manhattan, Kansas, and he certainly became qualified to pitch Major League Baseball for his life. In 4 years, he pitched at 4 different colleges. He's 6'1", about 185. Working on Uribe. He went from Allen Hancock Junior College to Grossmont Junior College to San Jose State and finally Kansas State. He was drafted by the White Sox 8 years ago. Along the way in the minor leagues, he pitched a no-hitter. Fouled away. Juan Uribe struck out, fly to right, 0 for 2. With Torres, you get fastballs up around 94, curve and a cutter. Off speed that time, pulled foul down the line. Uribe batting .240, 8 runs batted in. Dodgers lead 5-0, chasing Moyer after 5 innings. Good fastball. So after looking at an 81-mile-an-hour fastball, now suddenly over 90. Mark Ellis has been the big man. He fouled off 3 pitches with 2 strikes on him in the first inning and then hit one into the Dodger bullpen. His second career home run against Jamie Moyer. And then in his third at-bat, he hit one to deep center off the wall. That went for a double and knocked in 2. Though Ellis has driven in 3, having had a big night at the expense of Jamie Moyer. One ball and no strikes. Loney struck out and then grounded a single up the middle in the 5th inning. That was the beginning of the end for Jamie Moyer, who, by the way, struck out 7. At one stage, Jamie retired 10 in a row. And ball 3 to James. Fastball, curve, cutter, and change. That's what you'll get from Carlos, who was released by the White Sox with a purpose. He wanted to pursue an opportunity to pitch in Asia. And he did. If you've been looking at some basketball or you've just joined us late for one reason or another, here's tonight's box score. And as you can see, Ellis, a big man, 3 RBIs. Ethier has 1 and set up 1. Abreu, a base hit to left field to drive-in run. And Matt Traynor has scored a run. So it is 5 runs, 7 hits for the Dodgers. No runs, 3 hits for the Rockies. So Capuano now has a consecutive scoreless streak of 24 2/3 scoreless innings. Matt Traynor is 1 for 2. After Loney singled on the ground up the middle in the 5th inning, Traynor then grounded one through the hole on the left side. So Loney at first, 1 out. Matt checking with Capuano on deck. Fastball missed at 89. Got to be a big difference for 5 innings. The Dodgers were looking pitches, a couple at 69. There were several at 72. A couple at 81. 1 ball, 1 strike. Big chopper by the diving Nelson. So Matt Trainer having a good night. Matt goes 2 for 3. Spelling A.J. Ellis. Torres now has given up a walk and a base hit. Chris Capuano coming up with 1 away. Capuano struck out in the 3rd inning. Came up in a bunt situation, and he's about the best bunter the Dodgers have. He has a half a dozen sacrifices. He bunted, and Todd Helton, angling in from first, was able to throw to 3rd and get a force play on Loney. The wonderful play by Todd. It's a little bit on the cool side. They're going to throw back on a bounce. It gets off the glove of Tulowitzki, but Loney will hold. Reason we bring up the fact it's a little on the cool side, we just saw Torres blow on his hand. Now normally you blow on your hand on the mound and they're going to add 1 on the scoreboard. Maybe not such a great throw, but it gives Loney something to think about. They're looking bunt. They're going to get it. Here comes Helton again, but this time the play is Torres. He might have had a play, but he went to first. So Capuano does what he couldn't do in the 5th inning. His 7th sacrifice. Trainer takes 2nd. Loney takes 3rd, and D. Gordon coming up. Gordon is fouled out and struck out 3 times. That looked like he might have had a play at 3rd, didn't it? Gordon 0 for 3 and was certainly a threat to bunt and tried to against Jamie Moyer. And a strike. Gordon batting .221. 1 home run. He hit that in Colorado, and he has 8 runs batted in. 0-1. 1-1. Off the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike to D. Gordon. And ball 3. On deck, Mark Ellis, who has a home run and a double, scored 2 and knocked in 3. As Matt Kemp looks on, there's a strike. So 3-2 the count to D. Gordon. Breaking ball got him looking. Oh, a great curveball. Oh. So Gordon strikes out 3 times. The Dodgers leave runners at 2nd and 3rd, and the Dodgers lead 5-0. wireless receiver from AT&T Uverse. Visit AT&T.com/free your TV. Rethink possible. By El Pollo Loco, crazy you can taste. And by Mercury Insurance. Buy a policy and get a free Dodger jersey from your local agent. Chris Capuano leading 5-0. He now has a string of 24 2/3 consecutive scoreless innings. He has not allowed a runner to get to third. He's allowed one runner to get to second. That was Gonzalez, who doubled in the first inning. Now it'll be Tulowitzki, Helton, and Kadire. And first pitch, which is usually too low, and it'll be Matt Kemp on the run. So that's the other thing they're wondering about with Tulowitzki. He has always been a terrific first ball hitter. And it's not happening for him. You know, lifetime he was a .387 hitter hitting the first pitch. This year, less than 100. One away, the mystery of the game. Here's Helton. Strike. Helton single to right, grounded out, 1-4-2. Right there with Pujols, Suzuki, and he's third. Sliced foul off third, out of play, upstairs. 0-2. Todd hitting .242, 4 home runs, 21 runs batted in. Helton before the game was wearing a black hood, and with his mustache it seemed like his face was way back in the hood. He looked like somebody out of the Da Vinci Code. He really did. I mean, I've known him for 100 years. Hi, Vin. Oops. Hi. Hi there. Todd the Hood. 1-2 the count to Todd Helton. 1 out, 7th inning. And you can see the umpires apparently made the deal. The pitchers can go to the mouth and blow on the hand without an addition to the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Boy, great change.
Right fielder, number 3, Michael
Capuano is not overpowering. He is just pitching a storm. It's only his 3rd strikeout. He is just throwing everything where he wants it. And now here's Kadire, twice fly to center, the second time even deeper than the first. Right. 0-1. Kadire was certainly one of the more sought after free agents. He's hitting .279, 3 home runs, 19 runs batted in. 0-2. Slap foul. Rockies last year scored average 4.5 runs a game, which was the fewest in the franchise history. And that's why they went out to get people like Scutaro and Kadire. But all of a sudden, Tulowitzki and Helton are struggling. And that one is stung to left. Going back is Abreu. It's back in the pavilion. So Kadire, who had hit the ball hard his first 2 at-bats, finally hits it out. That breaks the scoreless string. 6 2/3 tonight. The 25 1/3. And just in case now, Rick Honeycutt will get on the phone. So Kadire hit one of those no doubt about it home runs.
Catcher, number 55, Ramon Hernandez.
About belt high, and he certainly knew what to do with that. So it is 5-1 in favor of the Dodgers. For Capuano, by the way, that would be his 4th home run that he's allowed. And it's the 4th home run hit by Mike. Of course, he can hit him, and he will hit him. 32 in Minnesota. He will certainly hit a bunch in and for Colorado. Hernandez hit into a force play fly to right. 0 for 2. Popped up. Loney down the line, angling. Foul ground. A trio of Dodgers. The middleman is Ellis. So Hernandez fouls out to Ellis. 1 run, 1 hit. The home run by Mike Kadire. And the Dodgers lead 5-1. The crowd will now be asked to join in God Bless America and take me out to the ball game.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise and join in the singing of God Bless America. Accompanied by Nancy B. Please welcome back Megan and Liz.
God bless America, land that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountains to the prairies to the ocean.
Bottom of the 7th inning, and Mark Ellis, Matt Kemp, and Andre Ethier against Carlos Torres. Capuano, by the way, giving up the home run, has now made 103 pitches. So we'll see just how far they want to use him. The bullpen, among others, they've had Javi Guerra up, and he is throwing now. Ellis hit the home run in the 1st inning. That was a great at bat. 3 times he fouled off pitches with 2 strikes. The count went to 3-2, and he hit one in the bullpen. And then in the 5th inning, doubled high off the left center field wall to drive in 2. So he's the man who certainly hurt Jamie Moyer the most. Moyer allowed 5 runs, struck out 7. That's a strike. 3-1. Chris Capuano has gone through 7, has made 103 pitches. It looks like he's not putting on the windbreaker or anything. Or maybe he'll go back out there. 3-2 the count. Clayton Kershaw talking to Chris. And ball 4. You can imagine Capuano talking pitching to Kershaw, and I could just read his lips a little bit. He was talking about fastball away.
Number 27, Matt Kemp.
Anyway, the batter now will be Matt Kemp. Matt Kemp has struck out, grounded out, and was walked intentionally. Coming off a tough game against the Giants, where he struck out 3 times and went 0 for 5. So he is 0 for 7 and 1 for his last 10. So he's coming down in batting average, and of course that's certainly expected. His average now 378. Oh, and 1. And there goes the runner. Ellis, hit and run slicer to right field. Nice catch by Kadire. So he's got a double play as he gets it back to Heldon. So the Dodgers are burned on the hit and run play. 9-3. And we have 2 down. So 2 out here in the 7th inning, and Andre Ethier coming up. Ethier popped up to Jamie Moyer in the 1st inning, but then doubled and scored a run in the 4th and singled to drive in a run in the 5th. Jamie hitting .294. Ball 1 to Andre. Bobby Abreu on deck. Five runs, 8 hits for the Dodgers. 1 run, 4 hits for the Rockies. The home run by Kadire. High fly ball into deep right center. Back goes Fowler to the wall. Gone. Andre Ethier hits his 7th. 32 runs batted in, and the Dodgers lead 6-1. So it's an amazing thing, at least so far. You shut down one and you hear from the other. You shut down Kemp, and it's Andre Ethier with a single, a double, and a home run tonight. After Matt Kemp is 1 for his last 11. Boy, what a swing. Tried by Fowler, but no chance. Dexter with those daddy long legs, but couldn't get it. Yeah, you see that swing. Justin Sellers indicating it is a beautiful thing to watch. 32 RBIs in 32 games played. 1 ball and 1 strike to Bobby Abreu. So Andre Ethier is certainly on top of his game. One and 1. Ball 2. For Torres, by the way, he's only pitched a little bit. He had 2 innings coming into this one, and that's the first home run he's allowed. Foul back. Andre Ethier. You know, before that home run by Ethier, his last home run was in Colorado on the 1st of May against Ulysses Chassin. 2-2. Ground ball to short. Tulowitzki. So the inning is over, but not before Andre Ethier clears the center field wall. Take another look at that swing. Over and out. And at the end of 7, 6-1 Dodgers. He popped up in the first inning to Jamie Moyer, so there was certainly room for improvement, and improve he did. He then doubled in the 4th inning and came around to score a run. He singled to drive in a run, and then last time up, hit a home run over the center field wall. So Andre, in his position in right, Tony Gwynn will take over in left for Bobby Abreu, and Javi Guerra will come out to do some pitching, and he'll face Dexter Fowler. Javi 1-3 with some work to do, and he's the first one to agree with you. Ball 1 to Fowler, hitting .217. Dexter topped one out in front of the plate and hit back to the box. Struggling at .217. That's a strike. 1-1. Fowler last year had 5 home runs, 45 RBIs, and hit .266. So he's really off his feed right now. Doing one. Dexter just turned 26 the end of March. Two balls, 2 strikes. Down he goes. So Fowler going through some tough times. 1 away. A reminder, come to Dodger Stadium Tuesday at 7:10, Dodgers and Diamondbacks, and receive your very own Oral Hershiser bobblehead, compliments of Coca-Cola. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. Boy, it looks like Oral as well. One out. Here's Chris Nelson. Started on the bench. They played Pacheco, Jordan Pacheco at third. Then Nelson batted for Moyer. He's had a bad wrist. Hitting .242. Pretty good bat speed on that. 1-1 the count. Pretty good speed on the pitch. It was a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. 1-1 to Chris Nelson. Scutaro on deck. Little ground ball to Gordon. 2 out in the 8th inning. The Dodgers came in here having won 20. So for the Giants, they lose a half a game for the moment. They trail 5.5. Then you have Arizona. Colorado was 6.5 back, and they could go to 7.5, and then San Diego. Dodgers are also trying to make their home record 13-3, and their record within the West, should they win, 10-4. Andre Ethier leading the club tonight. Of course, I remember what Matt Kemp was talking about earlier this year, whether you walk Matt and pitch Ethier, and he said it's a matter of choosing your poison. Well, Kemp was walked intentionally in the Ethier single. They played hit and run with Kemp in the 7th, and he hit a fly ball into a double play, and then Ethier homered. 2-0. 3-0. The Rockies had a double in the 1st inning and a single in the 2nd. They were not heard from again until the infield single by Scutaro in the 6th, and they got on the scoreboard with a home run by Kadaya. So Scutaro with the walk. Torres, the pitcher spot, is due up. Tyler Colvin will come off the bench and be the pinch hitter. Tyler's from Augusta. He was a #1 pick out of Clemson by the Cubs. When you talk to Tyler, he says the most inspirational part of his career was his grandfather, who had every one of Tyler's jerseys framed, every trophy he ever won, every baseball card, everything. And a strike. Left-handed all the way. He's 6'3", 200-pounder, and he'll be 27 in September. His grandfather, as some of the others look on, Fowler and Kadaya, his family went to 186 consecutive Clemson games. His grandfather said he didn't play a game at Clemson I didn't see in person. He asked him, who did you like watching the games on TV? Mark Grace. It was only natural, I guess, that he was selected by the Cubs. One and one to Tyler. 1-2. Interesting, too, that he was not drafted out of high school, and for 7 consecutive weekends, he and his grandfather rode to the campuses of Tennessee, Georgia Tech, South Carolina, among others, and finally went to Clemson. One ball and 2 strikes. Fouled away. Tyler Colvin. He figured his year was all over in 2009. He was having chicken and dumplings with his grandparents at a Cracker Barrel in the Knoxville airport. The AA Tennessee Smokies had been eliminated, and all of a sudden he got a call. We want you up here with the Cubs. They had just suspended Milton Bradley. Shot up the middle. So Tyler Colvin, a base hit. Stopping at second is Scutaro. And the batter now, Carlos Gonzalez. And of course, for the moment anyway, the Rockies had their first real look at the game. Gonzalez doubled to right in the 1st inning, flied to left in the 4th, fouled out in the 6th. And now let's see. Scott Elbert and Josh Lindblom down in the pen. Elbert, of course, left-handed, so will they go left? We'll see. Javi hands the ball to the skipper, and it'll be Josh Lindblom jogging in. And we'll be right back. Gonzalez and Lindblom apparently getting ready to face Tulowitzki. A reminder tomorrow at 6:10, Juan Nicasio and Aaron Harang. Nicasio 2-1, Harang 1-2, and each making a 7th start. Remember, Harang was bothered by a bruised foot, and he's just about 100%. Remember, 4 of Gonzalez' 7 home runs have been hit against left-handers. Gonzalez in the past 2 for 8 against Albert. Carlos batting .313, 26 RBIs to go along with the 7 home runs. 2 on. Scutaro at second, and the pinch hitter Colvin at first. 2 out. Wow. All 3 breaking balls down and away, and Gonzalez went after every one of them. So the left-hander nails him. No runs a hit and 2 left. It's 6-1 Dodgers. 6-1 Dodgers, bottom of the 8th inning. Esmael Rogers out of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic will check in. He was originally signed by the Arizona Diamondbacks as an infielder in 2003. Apparently didn't hit very much, and they converted him to the mound in 2006. And he came up to the Rockies for one game 3 years ago. Then he came up 2 years ago, last year, and here he is again. Kind of an aggressive right-hander. Dodgers will have Uribe to start it off. Chris Capuano turns in another brilliant effort. And remember, Ted Lilly will go Sunday. And there's one very big surprise so far this year. As Uribe hammers one to center, Fowler going back at the wall, gone. So welcome to the game, Esmael Rogers. After Torres gave up the home run to Ethier, the third Dodger home run. Mark Ellis hit one in the first inning against Jamie Moyer. So Uribe joins the fun and hits it out for Juan, his first home run of the year. Oh boy, that is a happy moment in the Dodger dugout for Uribe. His last home run was June of last year in St. Louis. So the Dodgers now lead 7-1. Let's go back to the point we were going to make about the left-handers. The left-handed starters, Capuano, Lilly, and Kershaw. Put them all together, the three Dodger left-handers are 10-1. And it's Clayton Kershaw who has the loss. So with the three left-handers, another brilliant performance by Chris Capuano. The three left-handers have a combined earned run average of 2. And Lilly, absolutely phenomenal, goes Sunday. And that's going to be hit into center field. Base hit for Loney. He'll take it. For James, 2 hits and a walk.
Catcher number 18, Matt Trainer.
So the Dodgers now 7-11. For Jim Tracy, a painful visit. Having spent 5 years the Dodger skipper. And here's Matt Trainer giving A.J. Ellis a rest, and Matt's 2 for 3. Ball 1. For the Dodgers, Capuano, Guerra, and Albert. Ellis relaxing, listening to Andre Ethier. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Todd Coffey is warming up. So Coffey's on. 2-0 to Matt. Tony Gwynn on deck. High fly ball, very playable. Fowler's at the other end of it. 1 away. You know, you can follow the Dodgers with MLB.com at bat 12 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and a lot more. So be sure to text at bat to 31826 or visit Dodgers.com for details. Tony Gwynn coming up. And of course, that was part of the story with Jamie Moyer. The fact that Jamie had pitched to Tody's dad. Tony batting .264. Remember facing Tim Lincecum the other night. No balls, 2 strikes. The outfield swung way around the left field, and Lincecum made a bad pitch. Got it up out over the plate. Tony pulled it into right field. There wasn't anybody there. 3 runs scored. He had a triple, and that was the ball game. 0-2. Tony in and out of the box. D. Gordon has had a rough night leading off. 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. No balls, 2 strikes. 1 and 2. For the Rockies, Jamie Moyer for 5, gave up 5 runs. Carlos Torres went 2 innings and gave up 1. And now Esmiel Rogers, who's given up 1. Dodgers with 3 home runs and 2 doubles tonight. Got him on the corner, kind of a delayed reaction. So down goes Gwynn for the second out. And the batter will be D. Gordon. Gordon has struck out 3 times. Matt Kemp 1. Abreu 1 for 5. Uribe twice for 7. Loney 1 for 8. And then Capuano and Gwynn. So 10 Dodgers have struck out, and they've still managed to score 7 runs and 11 hits. And a strike. Paid attendance tonight, 35,591. Many of whom have decided enough is enough with the Dodgers winning 7-1. Little ground ball to third. Nelson has to hurry and got it. And a bang, bang play at first. Whoa. For the crowd rooting for Gordon, but Nelson made a fine play. And D goes 0 for 5, but the Dodgers lead 7-1. Mark Ellis has had a big night with a home run and a double to drive in 3. Andre Ethier has had a single, double, and home run. They've been the big guns. Juan Uribe hit his first home run of the year and the first since June of last year. So put it all together, plus a magnificent 7 innings turned in by Chris Capuano, and the Dodgers lead 7-1. Todd Coffey, who'd been sidelined with some problems. He's only been in 5 games. And Coffey now trying to get a little work. He certainly has a room for error, leading by a half a dozen. He'll be facing Tulowitzki, Helton, and Kadire. Todd Coffey struggled for quite a while becoming a major league player. He was a 17-year-old who graduated from Forest City High School in North Carolina. He was taken by the Reds in the 41st round, and they really weren't that impressed with him. He was what they call a draft and follow. Take a look at a guy, but you're not going to be too interested in signing him. Another draft rule said that eventually you had to offer something. So the Reds offered him a $1,000 bonus and an $800 a month minor league salary in the low minors. And Todd took it. 2-1 the count to Tulowitzki. He said, I don't care where I start. I just want to get to the big leagues. Now he's a 7-year veteran. Two and one. Ball 3 to Tulowitzki. Tulo with Helton waiting. Together they're 1 for 6. Tulowitzki struck out on a couple of fly balls. Helton has a base hit to right field. In there, 3-2. Todd is listed at about 6'5" and 240. But he might be the first to admit that that's pretty generous. He might be bigger than that. Chop foul. Still 3-2. Tulowitzki hitting .270 with 3 home runs, 13 runs batted in. Called out on strikes in the first inning. Fly to right, fly to center, 0 for 3. And a shot under the glove of Coffey and through into center field. So Tulowitzki goes 1 for 4 with a base hit.
First baseman, Todd Helton.
That'll bring up Todd Helton, who singled to right, grounded to first, and struck out. 1 for 3. Helton batting only .239 with 4 home runs, 21 runs batted in. They extended his contract, so he'll be playing for the Rockies next year as well. There goes Tulo. They're not paying any attention to him. So defensive indifference. No stolen base. 1 ball and no strikes to Todd, who made a fine defensive play on the Capuano bunt in the 5th inning to cut across and nail Loney at third. Now back. 1-1. Todd Helton, one of only 5 players in Major League history to have a .325 average, 400 on base percentage, .570 slugging. Who are the others? Lou Gehrig, Albert Pujols, Babe Ruth, Ted Williams, and Todd Helton. What a group to hang around with. And he strokes it into left field. So Helton will be 39. I mean, he'll be playing and getting base hits when he's 40, without a doubt. And maybe facing Jamie Moyer.
Michael Kadire.
So 2 on, nobody out, and here's Kadire. Mike flied to center. Next time up, flied even deeper to center, and the next time up, hit a home run halfway up the left field pavilion. Kadire batting .286, 4 home runs, 20 runs batted in. Ball 1, nice save by Trainer. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Ronald Belisario begins to loosen up, just in case. Kadire hit 32 home runs and 94 runs batted in for the Twins 3 years ago. He also had 109 runs batted in for the Twins 6 years ago. So the Rockies are certainly expecting good things from him. 1 ball and 1 strike. We mentioned earlier that Mike Kadaya lost the hearing in the left ear at the age of 11, a rare viral infection. In the dirt. Nice block by Matt. 2-1. One thing that Mike Kadaya will be, he will be a star not only on the field, but in the clubhouse. He's a great magician, I understand. I mean, with some dazzling card tricks. So the magician at the plate and slicing one to right. On the dead run is Ethier. Can't make the sliding catch, but yes, he did. It's a foul ball catch. Ethier slid down. We couldn't see him. And then the first base umpire, Angel Hernandez, indicated catch. Tagging up and scoring all the way from second is Tulowitzki. Wonderful effort. Wow. And then what hurts is that concrete base. I mean, the wall is padded, but not the base. So a wonderful catch by Ethier. That's a run batted in for Kadaya, as Tulowitzki scored from second base, and it's now 7-2. Meanwhile, Helton head at first. Hernandez 0 for 3. Right. 7 runs, 11 hits for the Dodgers. 2 runs, 7 hits for the Rockies. Foul back. Last year, certainly one of the 2 catchers for the Rockies, Chris Iannetta, who is now with the Angels. Ramon Hernandez came over from the Reds. No balls, 2 strikes. 7-11 for the Dodgers. Fooled on that pitch. Hernandez checking. Oh, no. Okay. And he walks away. So 2 down in the 9th inning. Walks away before he has a few more words with Ed Rappaloni.
Center fielder, number 24, Dexter Fowler.
7 runs, 11 hits for the Dodgers. Amongst the 11 hits, home runs by Mark Ellis, Andre Ethier, Juan Uribe, and they were doubles by Ethier and Mark Ellis. For the Rockies, 2 runs, 7 hits. They had 1 home run by Kadaya, and they had a double by Gonzalez. There goes the runner, and the pitch is low, ball 1. Helton, no stolen base. Tomorrow night, 6:10, Nicasio and Harang. And then Sunday, Alex White and Ted Lilly. Aaron looking on with Chad Billingsley to his left. Fouled away. The Rockies are going to be 5 games under 500. And they're going to be trailing the Dodgers as Tulowitzki talks to Kadaya and Helton stands at second. They will be 7.5 games back at the Dodgers after 31 games. 1 ball and 1 strike. So in a sense, Coffey trying to keep the Rockies sleepless tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. Captain Redbeard. Years ago, there was a cartoon strip, Terry and the Pirates. And there was a character in the strip, Captain Blaze, B-L-A-Z-E. He had a full red beard. Maybe that'll tag along with Todd Coffey. Captain Blaze. 2-1 to Dexter Fowler. 2 out in the 9th. 7-2 Dodgers. Broke the game open in the 5th inning. Fouled away. Should the Dodgers hold on to any part of this lead, and it certainly looks like they will have won 8 of the last 11 games against the Rockies going back to last year, but they will have only split 4 so far this year. Two and two, Dexter hitting .215. Crowd of 35,591. 3-2. On deck, Chris Nelson, the third baseman. So the Dodgers using Capuano, then Guerra, then Elbert, and now Coffey. Now back. 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and Fowler just fought it off. Todd likes to run in. In fact, the only time he ever stumbled coming out of a bullpen was here. First time he left Dodger Stadium, he didn't realize there's a little drop out there. That would have been a great debut from rushing out and take a header. 3-2. Another foul ball. Todd Helton, rather lonely figure out there at second with 2 out. 3-2 to Dexter Fowler. And that's going to be hooked into right field down the line. Helton will score. Easy double for Fowler, but he's running for 3, not 2. And by the time Ethier got the ball in, Dexter has a triple. So Coffey gives up 2 singles and now the triple to Fowler. And Don Mattingly going out. He has Belisario in the pen. Fowler a leg triple as Ethier kind of jogged over for the carom. 7-3 Dodgers for Dexter Fowler. His first triple since 2009. He's got a bunch of them, and we'll be right back.
Fans are all hurt.
Not allowed anything, and he's now asked to shut him down. In those 3 scoreless innings, 2 hits and a walk and no runs. Chris Nelson got into the game as a pinch hitter for Jamie Moyer and struck out. Then last time up, grounded to short. So Fowler ready to come down the line from third. And Nelson trying to pick him up with 2 out in the 9th. 7-3 Dodgers. And ball 1. Light breeze blowing from left to right. And a ground ball, short hop there by Gordon on the money, Maloney, and that's it. So the Rockies get 2 in the 9th inning, 3 hits, and they leave a runner at third. Ethier made a brilliant catch. I know he hurt his right knee a little bit, although the left knee has a stain on it, but he was flexing that right knee, but it appears to be okay. Big night for Ethier, single, double, home run. Big night for Mark Ellis, double and a home run. Night for Uribe, a home run, and a brilliant 7 for Chris Capuano. And the Dodgers are now 21-11, and they are breezing at home. Stay tuned for Dodgers Live. It's coming up next. Good night, everybody.